tell us what it meant for you to be a Maroon and come back tonight and just interview with something like this that's going on with the Maroon Sports Network.
You know, it's all right. You know, it's awesome to be back. My whole goal when I was in high school, especially my junior year, was get a job in education, come back home and coach, because that's what it's so great about this place, the community. And, you know, playing football here was probably the best times of my life. Coach Hines used to talk about that all the time. And, you know, it's just so cool to be back.
Well, of course, Ethan, you got to move on to the second stage of your football career and played at Kentucky Wesleyan. So talk to me about, like, once you graduated high school, take me back to that moment. You step out after that summer onto a college campus, and at the time it was Coach East at the time, right?
Yes, sir.
So immediately, from what you can recall from your experience, talk to me about the adjustment. Was there any major adjustments that you could tell right out the bat that was different? How did you deal with those things?
I can tell you the biggest adjustment I had to make was gaining weight. And not only gaining weight, but the college game is so much faster. The tempo was so unreal. Which, you know, we huddled a lot here at County High, but with Coach East's offense, we were bing, bang, boom. And that was something I wasn't used to. And another thing I had to do, I'd never played center in my high school career. And they recruited me to play center. And I go in the first day of camp, and I'm feeling good. Was not my best day. Not my best days of action. But, you know, I slowly adjusted, and it ended up being fun. Like, college was a real fun time. I got to do a lot of things, see a lot of places. So it was nice.
Yeah, we'll go left to right. So now we heard that you're part of the Pulaski County Northern Middle Maroon staff. We've got such a legacy there that's been brought up through the years that our pipeline seems to never run out. And I hate to sound greedy or cocky about that, but every time I'm seeing some updates from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they all appear to be very good updates. Now, last night I think we had some games here, so maybe you can – did you go to the games last night?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about – let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the future. And I know that this is going to be sort of a general question, but let's talk about some young players that you think when they come up that, like, they're going to be, like, next level, making a difference for us since they hit the high school, and how excited you are to see them continue their career and produce for County High.
You know, the program is great. Coach G does a great job of making sure the kids are really bought into what we're doing. And the program – when I was there, you know, we had Coach Foley, who's now at Southwestern, as we all know. But it was still, we were building that pipeline. But now there's going to be some players that come up in this 8th grade or this freshman class. And the name, too, right off the bat, you got Will Adams, who is a spectacular quarterback. I mean, I've played with Wiley Kane, Riley Hall. Will's going to be good. And another big one is a lineman named Connor Blevins. Connor, he's my dude. He's a monster. And there's a few others I can name, but there's like that. This next freshman class is going to be full of talent, just like the one we have now with Kaysen and Brady Hull. So, I mean, the pipeline's going to continue, and hopefully for the best.
I can't tell you how excited I just got hearing you say that. I mean, gosh, I could see on Mr. Murray's face as well. So let's piggyback on what Mr. Murray said and what you just said right there in his answer. We got a lot of young guys out here on this field tonight that we've seen this season. Been taking their lumps, but I'm telling you, seeing these guys in the hallway, they're smiling, they've got good spirits, they're ready for practice, or at least they're giving me all those vibes, and the coaches speak. But tell me from your standpoint, you're now here coaching. You're not long removed from playing out here. What is it that you feel like that you can do to have an impact on these young guys while we see this future play out before us?
I think personally, you know, going throughout college, I learned that, like, your coaches aren't your enemies. Like, I thought coming in it was going to be, you know, a little more strict, which it was, of course, playing D2 college football. But the biggest thing I took away, the head coach at Wesleyan right now is Tyrone Young. And Coach Young, he always was by my side. I was always in his corner. And that's something that I wanted to bring to this. And I even told him when I graduated, I said, I want to be a player's coach. Like, I want to be there for the kids when they need it, whether it's good, bad, or in between. And that's my biggest thing.
Well, I love it. That's certainly why we need people like you back in the program, giving back, giving for you. I'm going to go a silly question here, and we're going to come back to some real ones. Man, I want to know, how do you get that beard looking so good? You've got it trimmed up, and it just looks like spot on, like your woman must be so lucky. Tell me how she is so lucky to be married to Ethan Holt. And don't you have a young one on the way?
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about family.
Oh, listen, this I don't know what happened. One day it just grew, and Coach Meese down there, he used to give me these beard shampoos and stuff, and that's why it's so big. But, she is perfect, in my opinion. And I wouldn't want anybody else in my life to, be there for me. And she is going to be the best mom to my son. Like, I couldn't tell you, we are super excited about having little Briar, and we just had our baby shower 2 weeks ago, and we were putting up all this stuff, and I'm not one to show emotion, but when it comes to him, he's going to be my little guy.
Oh, man. Well, listen, James asking you that question, I'm taken back over 9 years ago, Ethan, your freshman year. One of the highlights of that year, and really a highlight if you ever get to know Ethan Holt, is Ethan Holt's laugh. There you go. Now, y'all can't hear it. I can hear it. I remember one day I got you to laugh so hard, man, and you laughed the rest of the class and could not stop. I love that about you. I love that you're here. Like James said, you're making an impact on these young folks. So now just tell me, you're back, you're coaching, you're teaching. What's some other goals now that you have in the back of your mind that you want to set now that you're here in the seat?
There's a bunch of goals I want to, get to. But right now, I just want to say where I'm at. Like, when I wanted to come home and coach, I wanted to start at Northern because the program is so well. And eventually, I would love to come to the high school. But, it's not all about sports. Like, that's how I've always been. I was always a good student, I felt like, even in college, even though college was, whoa. But, my biggest goal is to become a social studies teacher. Like, that's something I really, really love. I love history. That's what I went to school for. And that's definitely, right now, that's top of the mountain.
Well, tell me this. Tell me that you didn't name your child's middle name Jumper. Please tell me.
No, sir.
Okay, so we got Briar for the first name, but no Jumper for the middle name. Okay, just making sure your wife wasn't diehard Somerset or something. Okay, the wife knows. Let's switch back to football for just a few minutes. Recalling your high school days, let's think back to the best teammate that you played with and tell me why you're going to pick that one or two players that if you could lace them back up again, you would do it with your homie, your ride or die. Tell me back in high school, who is it? Maybe somebody else needs to come on Legend Series with us, but Murray and Forster, this is why they were my best teammate.
This is a tough one, and, I'm going to have to say Ethan Casada. Ethan was a stud. He was always there. We, after games in high school, we'd go hang out at Aunt Kelly's house, just shoot the breeze, chill, drink chocolate milk, and play Grand Theft Auto. That's what we did. And the reason I say Ethan wasn't afraid to get hit or take the hit, or give the hit, take the hit, and he's someone you wanted to go to battle with. And I hope Wiley doesn't get offended by me saying that, but I got to play with Wiley for 11 years out of my 12-year career. So sorry, guy. But no, Ethan is. I miss the guy. I hope he's doing well. I haven't talked to him, but he's a Marine now, and he's just one of those guys. Oh yeah, physique of an animal.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So Ethan, now at this stage of the game, at the end of the day, practice is over, school's over, you're out of college, you're back in your hometown, starting a family, as you just said. What are you watching? Do you watch football to decompress? If you do, what teams do you watch, or anything else that you watch leisure? What are you doing outside or watching outside from school and work?
At the end of the day, after practice, after games or whatever, me and Cambria just like to kick it and watch Dance Moms.
I love it.
We've been watching it for a while, and you get so glued into it. But Most of the time I am watching football because I played offensive line, defensive line. And I always knew what was happening in front of me. Like I knew that I had to get to that, get there, get to the linebacker, or I was trying to tackle somebody. And I never really understood what happens behind. So I'm in the stage where I'm just trying to learn formations, how to see it, because I also call the defense for the 7th grade. So I'm trying to picture what we need to do to succeed, especially for the kids.
You know, speaking about that, it takes me back here, Ethan. A lot of fans probably don't see this, but a lot of times I think your college coaches will call your center the quarterback of the team because you're the one that's having to pick out the players that are blitzing and who's going to shift over to coverage. You got to protect your quarterback, make sure that he's not killed. So before we do that, though, I think we're about ready to get the national anthem here soon, so I want to talk about that. Before we do that, let's go ahead and grab a signature real quick while we got you on the wall. We got to get you on our wall of fame. So let's grab an Ethan Holt Hancock here, John Hancock at the bottom. Son, it's going to be beautiful to us for sure. Number 55. Now, the good thing is, Brandon Foster, if we ever forget his number, we can have him pull his leg up, and we're going to be able to see it right here. So we'll get up through there. We've got a bunch of legends over here, Ethan, and you might not see them. We moved them over here, so we got to get some better wall sticker glue here, but we're going to move them from the firewall to our wall here so we can get ready to walk in. But the thing is, are you going down to coach now? After this, are you going down our sideline? You're just middle school? Chilling. Just middle school, just chilling. Okay, so let's talk a little bit real quick. How much time we got, producer, before we switch over? Minute 15, okay. Talk about that center position then and how challenging that was at college and how you had to help pick up the blitzing linebackers or shift the defense around or be able to run a trap play or whatever it may be because you've got to see everything and anticipate it.
I played left tackle, so I knew how to find what they were going to do, what they were going to blitz, if they're going to blitz inside, outside, what the D lineman's going to do. But at the center position, it was so quick because I had to know everybody's job. That was my biggest thing, and I never had to know that when I played here because I was just busy trying to protect Wiley. But, the hardest thing I had to do is remember all the calls because at Wesleyan, we had calls for everything. So,
well, real quick, who do you want to see explode tonight?
Case and Brock.
Case and Brock. Well, folks, it's Maroon Sports Network. It's James Murray. It's a Maroon legend, Ethan Holt himself, joining us up here. We're getting ready to bring you tonight's action, but first we're going to honor our nation's flag with the singing and playing of the national anthem. Stick around, folks. It's a fun night. It's homecoming, so we got that coming at halftime. Maroon Sports Network, James, Ethan, let's see what the Maroons got going. That's what's up.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ethan. You the man.
I appreciate it.
for Friday Night Football. Tonight's homecoming game features the visiting South Laurel Cardinals and your Pulaski County Maroons. At this time, we ask that everyone please rise and get on and remove their hats. As the pride of Pulaski, the Pulaski County High School Marching Maroons lead us in the national anthem. Colors being presented tonight by the Pulaski County Junior ROTC Color Guard. Pulaski County Youth Football League lost one of its coaches this week, as unexpectedly we lost UMaine coach Michael King, and at this time we would like to have a moment of silence for Coach King.
Well, we're back. Maroon Sports Network. Sports Den is your one-stop shop for all your athletic needs. Sports Den, sports them all, for soccer cleats to baseball bats to anything in between. Sports Den even has your favorite PC attire such as Hawaiian shirts and Crocs. Also a brand new shipment of 2024 baseball and softball bats. They've arrived, and don't forget to order that Letterman jacket for that special someone. Sports Den is located between stoplights 19 and 20. Stop by today and tell Gary to give you the Maroon Sports Network special. That is Sports Den.
Is that all right? I'll get the next one. Grindbusters. I got it. All right, let's talk a little bit about Grindbusters now. Turn your dirty into purdy. I know, Brendan Forster, that is creative. James Murray Marketing here. But let's give a shout out to one of our hardest working seniors, Mr. Tucker Gover. Tucker's the owner-operator of Grime Busters, and he will make anything look new from vinyl siding and sidewalks to 18-wheelers. Let's look at these before and after pictures. Brandon Forster, that's pretty nasty right there, don't you agree? From the sidewalk and mildew and the landscaping. Now let's go to the after picture. Tucker Gover can make things look brand new. So here we'll go the after, maybe here in a second. Here's the after. Look at that. Looks like a brand new driveway. Landscaping looks remarkable there for that one. So save your time and drop him a dime. Call Tucker at 606-425-2580. Call Tucker, ladies, if you need that special someone. Tucker may be available as a bachelor as well, an entrepreneur. But remember, turn your dirty into purdy with Tucker Gover.
Tucker Gover, that sounds great.
Now let's go to Don Franklin, Brendan Forster.
All right, Don Franklin. Hey, you need a car? I need a car. We all need cars. We got to drive, right? Well, Don Franklin, look no further than Don Franklin Auto for all of your auto needs. Basically, Don Franklin's got all your needs from detailing to cleaning to maintenance services and your brand new pickups for all Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ford, you name it, they got you covered. That's Don Franklin, my man. James Murray, Don Franklin right here in Somerset, Kentucky will meet you with all of your auto needs.
All right, next let's go to another sponsor we just added today. Matter of fact, we went on an FBLA field trip, asked them to sponsor the Maroon Sports Network, Brendan Foster. They said, send us the information, we'll send you a check. So for those people listening out there, we will run and air your commercial all year long, football, basketball, and all the sports. So right here we got a picture of me and Mr. Ryan Cash and me and Big A, a legend on the football and baseball courts here. So Big A works there right now, so they're hiring our students to work as well. So as you go ahead and flip over to the next slide, we'll go ahead and talk. Todd Metals is your one-stop shop in the steel building industry. Family ran and owned with headquarters in Somerset, Kentucky. Whether it be agriculture, commercial, religion, residential, or most other categories of build, Todd Steel Buildings can design and tailor to fit what our customers desire. Call 606-274-1523. And remember, in Todd, we trust. Thank you, gentlemen, for believing in us, and Tyrell and Ryan. So we thank you for the sponsorship and looking forward to it. And I know Ryan's lovely wife up there tonight is watching in Louisville, Kentucky, and she's stuck in a meeting. So she's hoping her son gets in, Mr. Andrew Cash, in the second half. Yeah. So we're going to pull for Andrew here. And
Andrew Cash Money Flow is what he wanted me to call him tonight.
Cash Money Flow. Yes. Okay, we got it. So you got your nickname, Andrew Cash Money Flow. Okay, so that will take care of our early sponsor segment here. So, Brandon, let's get ready to transition and talk a little football.
All right, let's do it. I mean, tonight, it's a beautiful night, James. We got fall right around the corner. It's a Friday night, but it's also homecoming. The last time we were here, it was one of the best teams in the state who played last week, James. The next best team in the state on their home field in Corbin, and won with a whopping final score of 6-0. And of course, we recognize it as senior night. But tonight, we have recognition for homecoming with our homecoming court, James. It's stacked. But let's get into football as well, too.
Well, I heard they hired the best announcer ever for homecoming tonight. Michael Buffer is going to be here announcing the homecoming court tonight, fans.
All right.
So get ready for that. It's going to be amazing. Michael. So it is a stacked homecoming court. But yeah, mention that, fans, sometimes we get a little bit maybe down in our team. But when you go and look that Frederick Douglass was ranked number 2 in the state.
Yeah.
Held them to 0 points. Mm-hmm. We scored on Corbin, and then we got it called back for a holding penalty. We're at the 1-yard line and fumble it into the end zone. So, fans, I'm telling you, it felt like we scored 21 points on Corbin, even though the scoreboard would say 0. Now, tonight, I expect a lot different things. South Laurel is not Corbin. Mm-hmm. South Laurel is building their program. They're getting better. Last year, I don't know if they won 0, 1, or 2, but it wasn't very many. Mm-hmm. But we know this year they come in with a 4-1 record. Mm-hmm. But it's deceiving. If you go and look at it, they're 4-1, we're 1-4, and they're like, okay, how many South Laurel are going to win by? But it's the exact opposite, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely. The Cardinals, of course, has always been blessed with 2 North and directional schools in London with North and South Laurel. We got the Cardinals here tonight. We got North Laurel later on in our schedule. But yeah, James, we're coming in 1-4. And like you said, we did some really good things against some of the best competition in the state. And you know what, James, is the best thing coming in tonight? What happens when you lose to a Pikeville and a Corbin and a George Rogers Clark? Absolutely nothing. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. We're going to run the rest of our schedule, and we're going to see this team, because of their attitudes and the youth that we have that's so exciting for our future. We are set to now finally go and set our own destiny. And I think Coach Hines knows that. This team comes ready to work and practice each week. I see him up early in the morning each day during the week, and he just loves coaching these guys because they are a great group of freshmen that we have, and the sophomore and junior class led by our senior class that we have, senior players on this team. So it's something to be excited about here as we see both teams take center field here.
Looks like our captains are 5'10", 50, and 72. So it's going to be Kyle Weatherington, Brock Green, Sam Whitaker, and number 72, Tyler Johnson's going to be out there tonight as our team captains, taking the coin toss. But, Brandon, before we forget, we better say the best thing that's happened to us today, and you know automatically. So tell the fans what's the best thing to happen to Maroon Sports Network today.
After the end of the school day, I got a surprising phone call from James Murray, who said, listen, Josh Anderson from Crane and Boone, none other than, has set us up with the spread. And I thought I knew what I was walking into, but I didn't. You tried to tell me, but words don't do it justice. I go up there, and I had already had 2 pulled pork sandwiches down before you could even tell me what was in front of me. I finished with 3, and then a solid plate of just pork by itself with the sauce. Man, Josh Anderson knows how to get it done with some pork and Crane business.
So, yes, we got to tell you, and the students were so happy. If I got to tell you, they're like, this is the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. And they ate. He brought us so much food. I mean, we can't tell awesome. You. We've still got probably 4 pounds of pork barbecue left.
Like you said.
So, Josh Anderson, you are our man. We're going to go ahead and say it. You are a Maroon Sports Network legend.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to just interview him on being great, whether it be with Crane and Boom or whether it be with Get Your Smoke On or whatever it may be.
That was some of the best pork I've ate, James, period, bar none. And I was like, man, I could already see it's like watching the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday and having that on top of chips with some cheddar nachos. That is like got me salivating again, ready for round 2. But that was really nice of him to do that, because I know that wasn't no easy feat. The man's a busy man, to drop what he's doing and to do that, and to try to watch his son play football tonight. I mean, that's like you said, our production crew. It meant a lot for these young guys that we have here.
Listen, because he brought us that barbecue, karma is going to happen. Zach Anderson is going to pass for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns because of that pork barbecue. He brought MS in, because that karma has to be out of the roof right now for what he did for us today. So, fans, I'm going to tell you right now, if you love the Maroon Sports Network, I mean, follow us. We'll talk about things, but we've got a great group of guys, and that's what we're going to say here. Like you mentioned, they're 1-4, but we're about ready to start a winning streak. The early season slate was ridiculous. So, but when you get to be a certain level, people stop scheduling you, and you've got to find people that will take you on to play a home and away series before your schedule frees back up. And Coach Hines doesn't shy away from it. He doesn't chase wins. He chases state championships. So that's what we like.
That was one of the best things about him is he's not afraid. And I think that characteristic is what's embodied in his best teams and his best players. Signified tonight, talking to Ethan Holt. But right now we got Byron. Tell boys to quit talking about the sucky Cowboys. Nice to hear your voices again. Wow.
And he's cutting me right in the heart, because did he not watch pregame and see what polo I was wearing in the interview?
I'm not even sure that we've even said anything about the Cowboys. So that's where it's like, my goodness, man, the guy's he's bringing some heat right now.
He's anticipating
at the roulette tables in Vegas right now.
He's in North Carolina. He's in North Carolina.
Okay. All right.
Dealership to dealership is his job right now.
Wow.
So Grandpa Childers.
He has people that fans him and feeds him grapes probably right now.
It's got an automatic walker to go from car to car with an escalator. So he's got it made, dude. I'm telling you, in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, I miss seeing him in the hallway.
I do too.
Byron Childers,
I do too.
We love and miss
Salt and pepper.
You deserve
Salt and pepper.
You deserve all of those things. You deserve the streets paved of gold and whatever.
36 years in our school system.
I know.
36.
That's amazing. He's seen a lot. He's, you know what was great about him was it looked like he had never skipped a beat. Being out in the hallway duty with him and talking to him each morning, one year that I had with him, it was a treat. I mean, the guy was. It was almost like he was 38.
All right, hey, Foster, Brian Abner just said those magic words. Fans, are you ready for some football? Looks like we're going to get the opening kickoff, so I'm going to say we return it past midfield. Let's see how bad off I am right here. So let's see. Is that Fuzz right there, number 13, taking it?
Fuzz or Brock?
Oh, okay. Just 25. We got half the distance. Yeah, that's Fuzz. Fuzz number
Got a
13.
little twinkle toes there. I want to see Fuzz run those routes through the middle of the field. He loves the sidelines like Terrell Owens, but I want to see him go to the middle, not be afraid and shy away from contact and try to make some plays in the middle.
Laurel has come back at Richmond, Kentucky, stronger than ever by the True Hotel and across from the bowling alley. And I was up there last week, and it was just swamped with cars.
Really?
I mean, yes.
Wow. See, now the original location is where the Texas Roadhouse is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they tore it down. Well, that's nice to hear. I'm glad to see Golden Corral still in business. I can't personally do that. Here is a slant.
Fuzz. Oh, I thought he was going to break a tackle. So 3 yards. So Zach Anderson, 1 for 1 for 3 yards. Brandon, I thought I saw, I'll bring it back up on my phone. I think Fuzz is the number 2 receiver in the state of Kentucky right now as far as receiving yardage.
Well, you know, and again, you mentioned in pregame, we were able to do
Leader in the state of
Zach
Kentucky.
Anderson,
And imagine if that call wasn't called back from Corbin. That was his touchdown.
Ooh, they got a flag on the field, but Ryan Anderson to the right side of the field to Zach Anderson. Hit quick release. Zach, we saw warming up. He's got a cannon, James.
Fuzz is one of those that participates and answers questions.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love that. When the worst thing as a teacher is when you ask a question and it's just silence, like nobody wants to answer you and they're afraid of being smart and intelligent. And the best thing is when they participate and answer questions and just, you know, you have discussions with them in class.
I love it too. I know some of these freshmen are straight business. Brady Holt's personality. Andrew Cash showing a lot of charisma in class, and Brian Ramirez is one of the best.
I love Brian Ramirez.
Yeah, Maddox Dunaway's growing up before our
Ooh,
eyes.
big hit in the hole. Looks like just a minimum gain, Brandon. Probably 2 yards.
A lot of stuff going on the sidelines, and they're going to let them play for a little bit. But, yeah, we got our teacher tailgate with a fantastic attendance of teachers and faculty and staff here tonight. We got the band in attendance. Senior homecoming court, which I'm excited. We have the lovely Miss Anna Muse. Lillian is in this. Of course, Maddie Wilson.
Oh, got hit there.
Abby Wilson as well. Kelsey Elder also in it, as well as many, many more.
Stacked homecoming court for sure, Brendan.
Yeah,
So,
Kinsey Cup as well is in it. Got to see her.
Brendan, what do you think about the maroon uniforms with the silver helmets and the dark gray asphalt pants?
Yeah, and it almost makes the maroon jerseys look black from here, so I like that look. It's very intimidating with the silver, like, chrome helmet look. Very fancy. Here's Zach going to flick it in for looks like a little bubble screen, and we got some real estate here. Could have been number 41, Decker Wilden.
Tied in, 6'4", Brandon.
Man,
the thing I liked about Zach right then, he dropped back and looked left the entire time.
Yeah.
So if you were a middle linebacker or you're a DB, you're already slanting over to that side. But that was just to pull them off. He knew all along he's going to go under.
Growing. Man, the coaches love this guy, James.
See money is bringing it, McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey has scored in 12 straight games now in the NFL, including last night. So 12 straight. Case and Brock, that's you one day, my man.
Here's Zach Anderson. He's
Deep fade right. Got him. Perfect.
Number 7, Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson, yes. Nice wheel route.
Wow.
Okay,
Nice
we
drive.
told you, Josh Anderson, 5 touchdowns, 400 yards. Is that what we said pregame? Let's look at the light show.
Nice drive by the Maroons right there. Great game play calling there by the Maroons. And I was getting ready to say before that touchdown pass, James, if you wanted to draw up a Johnny Hines player on this team right now, Case and Brock would fit the bill for that. They love him. Here's the extra point. It's good.
Landon Wade says he wants to apologize to the class of 2018. He wasn't able to make it tonight to the reunion you told us about, but he is covering the Maroon Sports Network from Lexington. So, man, we miss you when you're in. You with us.
And our team in Lexington's headed south to Nashville, the Music City this week, which it's flipped upside tent held a crane, and they didn't call Josh Anderson's crane and boom for that. So
that's a tragic mistake.
It's going to be a weird game tomorrow, Cats, as they take on Vanderbilt.
What time? I don't know the game time. I'll ask you.
3, but I don't know.
Okay.
We didn't beat them last year, so it's not guaranteed.
Looks like we got number 20 Ethan Full Throttle Idleline, one of the best nicknames in the business, going to do the kitties for us. Brandon, you and I had predicted this game, and we think eventually maybe we can get to a running clock by the start of the fourth quarter. We may be totally overlooking South Laurel, but that's sort of what we